Day 3, ad ignorantiam. Since Tina and Chris lived around the block from each other, for the most part their route from school was the same. It took approximately 10 minutes on foot, leading them through a park, featuring a delightful playground and offering a scenic view of the river. As Chris was walking past a group of big oak trees in the park, Chris heard a sob and a sniffle. He turned and looked and saw Tina sitting at the foot of one of the trees. His mother had taught him that strong men were kind and that a gentleman did not ignore a damsel in distress. So he pulled out a packet of tissues from his pocket and went to Tina and asked, "Would you like a tissue?" She looked up and gave him a watery smile, took the tissue and blew her nose. "Thanks." He crouched down beside her without really knowing what to say, so he remained silent, feeling very stupid. She attempted to smile and stated, "Even nowadays playing Galileo is no fun." He said the first thing that came to his mind, "You do know that just because you are a minority and facing opposition, it does not prove you are right." He inwardly cringed as he saw Tina take a deep breath and stiffen. He had poked the bear. But then she suddenly let her breath out again and gave a sound that sounded something between a chuckle and a sob and a sigh. "Yeah, of course." In that moment he realized that he liked Tina, the strange, awkward, stubborn girl that she was. He liked the way, even in an emotional moment, she was brave enough to question herself and her logic and was able to admit that she was wrong. "But can you prove that Santa does not exist?" he asked, realizing he was hoping she might have more input on his quest. "No, but that does not mean he exists, and you cannot prove he exists." And suddenly they both smiled as she articulated what they were both thinking. And that you cannot prove he exists is not definite proof that he does not exist. Chris decided that Tina would be a good ally in his search for the truth, probably even more beneficial due to their differing viewpoints. His big brother Matthew frequently asked someone to present the opposing standpoint when he was prepping for a debate in his debate team. He believed that having someone take a contrary stance, playing the devil's advocate, aided in gaining a deeper understanding of the topic. According to him, it served to counteract cognitive bias and enhanced his comprehension of the intricacies of the subject. So Chris shares his quest to investigate the question of whether Santa exists or not. He mentioned that while he still believed in Santa, he was open to question this belief, and asked if Tina would like to join him on his quest. Tina's eyes shone with excitement. "Oh yes," she exclaimed, her woes and tears completely forgotten. "We could start our own detective club. This would be our first mission. We could have a name and all, something like the Curiosity Crew, CC in short. Since both our names start with C," she beamed. Chris smiled at Tina, realizing that her enthusiasm mirrored his own. Since Chris had soccer practice later in the afternoon and Tina piano lessons, they decided to have the first official Curiosity Crew meeting the next day after school. They said their goodbyes and pretended to be cool and detached, but they could hardly conceal their eagerness for the upcoming day. In preparation, Chris contemplated the learnings of the day and decided to add this to his book of learnings, which would soon be the Curiosity Crew's book of insights. Don't try and figure out everything alone, as you might be blinded by your preconceptions. To learn and understand, better seek to let your views and arguments be tested by someone else. Chances are you will both learn something. Argumentum ad ignorantiam. It asserts that a proposition is true because it has not yet been proven false, or a proposition is false because it has not yet been proven true.